The word mentorship gets used so broadly in business that it has nearly lost its meaning. It gets applied to everything from a senior executive who met with someone once, to a manager who gives performance feedback, to a structured 12-month development program. What all of those usages have in common is that most of them underdeliver, because they operate without a framework, without clear goals, and without the relational discipline that makes mentorship genuinely transformative. Great mentors are not made by good intentions. They are made by deliberate practice. And the organizations that build mentoring cultures do not just improve individual careers, they reduce turnover, accelerate development, and build the bench strength that determines organizational sustainability. This video is about how to do it with real skill. The first milestone is understanding what mentorship actually is and what it is not. Mentorship is a relationship designed to accelerate another person's professional development through experience transfer, guidance, and advocacy. It is not management. A manager's job is to direct work and assess performance. A mentor's job is to share perspective, challenge thinking, and open doors. It is not therapy. The appropriate boundary of mentorship is professional development, not personal processing, though effective mentors understand that the two are connected. And it is not advice giving. The most consistently effective mentors spend more time asking powerful questions than dispensing answers. Questions like, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Or, what's the story you're telling yourself about why this hasn't happened yet? Are more developmental than the most brilliant piece of advice because they engage the mentee's own thinking rather than replacing it. The second milestone is structuring the relationship for success. Unstructured mentoring relationships consistently underperform structured ones. Structure does not mean bureaucracy, it means intentionality. 4 structural elements make the difference. First, a clearly defined purpose. What does the mentee want to achieve from this relationship, and over what time horizon? This should be written down and revisited. Second, regular scheduled meetings rather than ad hoc catch-ups. When mentoring gets scheduled only when it is convenient, it gets postponed indefinitely. Monthly at minimum, bi-weekly for high-intensity development relationships. Third, meeting agendas driven by the mentee, not the mentor. The mentee should own the agenda, come prepared with specific questions or challenges, and set the direction for each conversation. The mentor's job is to respond and guide, not to deliver a curriculum. Fourth, accountability. At the close of each meeting, both parties should commit to specific actions before the next meeting. Development without action is conversation. The third milestone is the art of developmental questioning, the skill that separates transformative mentors from well-meaning ones. The GROW model, developed by Sir John Whitmore and widely adopted in executive coaching, provides a powerful structure for mentoring conversations. GROW stands for goal, reality, options, and will. What does the mentee want to achieve? What is the current reality? What are the available options? And what will the mentee commit to doing? Walking through these 4 stages in a mentoring conversation consistently produces more clarity and more commitment than a mentor simply sharing what they would do in the situation. Because the mentee does not need to know what the mentor would do. They need to know what they are going to do. Here is the trap that derails even experienced mentors. They spend the relationship giving advice about what worked for them, telling their own story, recommending their own path. But the mentee is not the mentor. Their context, their strengths, their organizational landscape, and their generation are different. The mentor's experience is raw material for perspective, not a template for instruction. The best mentors consistently flip the ratio, spend 20% of the conversation sharing experience and perspective, and 80% asking questions that help the mentee develop their own clarity and capability. Effective mentoring delivers measurable outcomes. Studies from the American Management Association, Deloitte's retention research, and LinkedIn Learning's workplace reports all consistently find the same pattern. Employees who have effective mentors are more engaged, more likely to stay, more likely to be promoted, and more likely to report high job satisfaction than those without. Mentoring, done well, is one of the highest return investments a manager or leader can make. Not just in someone's career, in their confidence, their contribution, and their belief that leadership is worth aspiring to. Your go-do. If you are currently mentoring someone, review your last 3 conversations. What percentage of speaking time did you spend? If it is more than 50%, you have shifted into advice-giving mode. In your next session, commit to asking 3 questions before making any statement. If you want to build the retention and engagement results that come from great mentorship at scale, the video in this series on employee retention strategies connects directly. That is your next move. The return on investment case for organizational mentoring programs is well documented. A study by the Association for Talent Development found that mentoring significantly increases employee satisfaction, retention, and career advancement rates. Sun Microsystems conducted one of the most cited analyses of mentoring ROI, finding that mentored employees were promoted 5 times more often than non-mentored employees, and that both mentors and mentees were significantly more likely to stay with the organization. The business case for investment in mentoring infrastructure is strong, but the quality of the mentoring relationship matters as much as its existence. Formal mentoring programs that pair people arbitrarily without attention to developmental fit and that provide no training or framework for either party often fail to deliver on their potential. The most effective mentoring programs share 3 design features. First, participant choice or influence, allowing mentees to identify characteristics of the mentor they need most, not just seniority, but specific expertise, specific experience, or specific organizational access, dramatically improves match quality. Second, orientation and training. Both mentors and mentees benefit from a brief orientation that establishes shared expectations, suggests conversation frameworks like GROW, and addresses common failure modes. Third, program coordination. A designated program manager who facilitates connections, monitors engagement, provides resources, and addresses relationships that are not working is associated with significantly higher program satisfaction and outcome quality. One more dimension of great mentoring worth highlighting: the reciprocal value it creates for the mentor. Research published in the Journal of Vocational Behavior finds that mentors experience significant professional and personal benefits from mentoring relationships, including fresh perspectives on their field, exposure to new ideas through their mentees' questions, renewed motivation from contributing to others' growth, and enhanced self-reflection about their own career and leadership. Great mentors often report that the relationship challenged them to articulate knowledge they had never been forced to make explicit, producing growth that pure experience alone would not have generated. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, hit like and subscribe to our channel for more practical insights. And if you're ready to go further, check out the next video on your screen.